have by now done a tour through the house. If not, please take advantage of that after we finish this part of the program. It's an extraordinary accomplishment. As I said earlier, this celebration is all about the great partnership that we have here between Stevens, Parsons School of Design, the Milano School, Habitat for Humanity, and Washington, D.C., the city of Washington, D.C. We're here to celebrate that partnership, and we are here both to congratulate the students, and all of you students, please stand up and be recognized. You will hear a little bit later, in a few minutes actually, from Kent Adcock from Habitat for Humanity, Washington, D.C., and he will tell you a little bit about the really wonderful, exciting aspect of this project, which is that this house you see here will become a home for a family in Washington, D.C. An extraordinary accomplishment by these students. And so here, with that in mind in particular, but remembering this is about this great accomplishment, we're here to celebrate. And also, I think Joel, where's Joel Towers? Joel said to me, you know, we really have to give the students a real send-off from Hoboken, because in reality you have a lot of work to do in some fine-tuning here, and then dismantling, putting it on a truck safely, making sure it gets to Washington, D.C. safely, and is rebuilt in 7 days for the competition on the mall. So you have a lot of work ahead of you, you students. And so this is a toast to your accomplishments to date, and a toast to the future success, and we hope a winning entry in the Solar Decathalon competition, and a special toast for the fact you've already won. We've already given a home to a family in Washington. So here's to you.
We have become fast friends in this process, and it's actually a very particularly emotional evening for me. It's been a long and fascinating journey to this point. We're not done yet, but we have done some amazing work together, and our partnership is really just beginning. I'm convinced that between New School and Stevens, the opportunities are limitless, and we've really produced a work of great importance, not just as a house, but as a process. From the very beginning said that this competition was not solely about what we could do on the Washington Mall through the Department of Energy competition, but rather was an attempt to remake housing in America. And key to that partnership is the partnership with Habitat for Humanity. And I was just sitting at the Habitat table with an extended family of friends and colleagues with whom we have also just begun to collaborate. So it's truly, for me, I couldn't be happier today. I often say that one of the great things about being in design is that eventually you got to take your ideas and put them out and let them get wet in the rain. And it rained a lot during this process. Every time it rained, I thought about you guys out here, and I thought, it's really not fair. And then we had an earthquake. So it seems to me you're just going to withstand all of this without any missteps. And it's just, if I can speak as an architect briefly, this is a house that is incredibly generous. And I mean that in the form of what it will be like to live in it. And it's generous in part because it was co-designed with a community, with real people who will live in it. It's not an abstract assignment. We were greatly aided in that by our collaborators and partners at Milano, and I'll be introducing the dean at Milano in a moment to say a few words. And we were really blessed with the possibility of meeting the community, working with the community through our partners in DC, through the city government, through the community activists in Deanwood, and it has been truly transformative for so many of us. And I believe that we have already won, and Michael said that before, and I believe it. So I'm really honored to be here. I want to thank a tremendous group of faculty who have worked through, for those of you in the education world, it's not easy to teach something over many semesters and keep it going. This is a project that's gone on for 2 years with hundreds of students, each of them entering into the project and continuing through and feeling ownership over that project and transforming it and making it better. And that is a work of collaboration among faculty across 2 institutions and multiple schools, of unparalleled experience, in my opinion. And our presidents from Stevens and from the new school talked about this before, but this is the future. It's what's needed in industry, it's what's needed across disciplinary boundaries, and our faculty have proven that, and we have a tremendous group of faculty that I really want to thank each and every one of you for your work. We've been supported by a great group of people helping us to raise the money needed to build this project, and finally to the students, or perhaps first to the students, who are tireless, although maybe a little tired right now, and should be very, very proud. If you think you can't build a house in just a few months, you can. If you think you can't transform the way we do things in this country, you can. And if you think that new ideas are not possible, well, they are. And you've proved all of that through your study, through your dedication, and through your commitment to this project. So to the students, my heart just goes out, and I'm just thrilled to be able to be a small part of this project with you. So I thank you all. I also raise my glass to this partnership, and I have the great honor and privilege of asking my colleague Neil Grebois to come to the stage and say a few words now. He is the Dean of Milano School of International Affairs, Management, and Urban Policy.
Very much. It's really a delight for me to be here and to have gone through that spectacular house. I've seen it in drawings, I've seen it in partial construction, but I'm on the soft side of this project. Soft in the sense that we have an engineer, we have an architect, and I'm a mere mathematician. And I don't know anything about designing anything, and my whole career has been devoted to ignoring the real world. So you have to understand that my perspective is rather different. And as the Dean of Milano, what fascinates me about the project and encourages me is the constant refrain that the community play a significant role in the design of this house, and that we do all we can not to impose our own understanding of what a house ought to be on the people who will live in it, but rather reflect the best in design and construction that reflects the way people will and wish to lead their lives. And that was the role that Milano has played, and I think our students deserve unbelievable praise and support for their engaging the community, for their learning about how the community might wish to live in their homes, but also something equally important. None of us knows much about how to live in an energy efficient house. And we all have to learn from one another what that means. And our students have elicited from the people who will be served by these homes, they have learned something about how people might live in these homes, and have helped them learn more about how these homes will function. So from my perspective, we are the kind of glue that holds architecture and building, not together, because obviously that we're not totally necessary, but if you want to do something that I think is really going to make a difference, not only in Deanwood, not only in the competition, which of course we're going to win, so just assume that, but not only in those two venues, but also as this project goes to scale. And I know my hope and our shared hope in this project is that by working with Habitat for Humanity, I understand Kent is thinking about bringing together larger groups of Habitat for Humanity representatives to think about ways in which this wonderful and elegant project can actually set a standard across the country for energy efficiency, homes that are affordable, that enable people to live their lives in the way they wish to. I was delighted in starting to walk through. Mr. Chestnut was walking through with me, and he said, "I've heard so much about this place. I have never seen it. I'm thrilled." And I felt exactly the same way, to see it up front, to see what difference it could make, to see the elegance of the competition part and what it will become when it moves to Deanwood, was all a real treat for me and excited me about this project. Again, I want to echo my colleagues in thanking the faculty for all they've done, and I know it goes well beyond work in the classroom or design work to include and bring together a diverse group of students from engineering, from architecture, and from urban policy and public affairs to construct out of that diversity something that goes beyond what any of us could have done separately. I want to pay tribute to the students who have been indefatigable. It was a pleasure for me the last time I came to visit what was then only part of a house to see our Milano students actually banging nails. I didn't think they did that kind of thing. But I can't do it. So it's part of their education and their intimate connection to this project. And I think it reflects the intimate connection of all our students and faculty who have just worked wonderfully hard to make this a reality. We're looking forward to the 21st or 22nd or whatever of September, when this exists on the mall, when some juries will come to look at what we've accomplished, and I'm sure they will be as excited about it as we are. So thank you all for all that you've done, for being here, for providing the support we need, to Stevens for hosting us this evening, to my colleague Joel Towers for all that he's accomplished, to Laura. This has really been a wonderful project, and I hope you'll join me in applauding everybody who has played a significant role in the construction of this house.